What is up, fellow developers? My name's Tyler Potts and welcome to another video in the 31 days 31 video series. We're on day 4, and in this video, in the last video, we did a form validation, but that only validated when you clicked the submit button or as you submitted the form. This form validates as you type. So as you can see, as I typed, it started off red because you have to have a minimum of 4 characters. And then once you've got more than 4 for your username, you can then continue on. The password, however, has slightly different. So if I type in, it has to have a minimum of 8, but as you can see with 8, it still doesn't work. So it needs at least 1 capital and at least 1 number and 1 lowercase. And then once it has that and 8 characters, it is then submitted. And again, same with the username. Although I haven't hid the having spaces in here, I might make it validate with spaces later on. So without further ado, guys, let's get started. Alright guys, so we're in a new pen, and in this pen we're going to be going in container, smacking in one of those bad boys, one of these H1s. We're just going to say log into your account, not my account, your account, thank you very much. Let's keep going. We're going to hit up the form. It's going to have an ID of login form, and then the name, login form, there we go, that one, and then an action. We're not going to have an action, we're going to have a name, which is also equal to login form. Inside this form, we are going to have 2 form groups. We're going to say form or dot form group times 2, and then in Emmet it's going to make 2 form groups. One in here is going to have an input, which is the type of text as usual. It's going to have an ID of username, and it's going to have a class of input hyphen field. We're going to enter this, and then we're also going to give it the name of username, although the name is not very needed here. And finally, we're going to give this a placeholder equal to username, and then we're going to carry on. So in the form section here, we're going to say input again, but this time it's going to be a type of password. It's going to have an ID of password, and also it's going to have the input field class. So we're going to hit enter. The name will be again password, as you probably already knew that was what it was going to be, and then we're going to say placeholder. So the placeholder is equal to password. Good guess. If you guessed that, good guess. If you didn't guess that, then I don't have anything to say about it. I'm disappointed. Let's continue on. So we're going to have an input underneath this, which is going to be of type submit. It's going to have the value of log in, and then we're also going to give it a class equal to login hyphen button. So now we've got all the elements we need for this, the validation. Now let's do some styling real quick. So we're just blitzing through all this because again, this is supposed to be for the JavaScript side of things, but I like to keep some of this in sometimes. Why am I double margining? We don't double margin, we only single margin. Let's go box sizing. Border box. I'm full of energy today. I've had too many drinks, too many coffees, and coffee makes me code. So I'm coding quite fast, so to keep up with the pace of the video and the way I talk. So yes, but if you need, all the code will be on the code pen, so don't forget to check that out. I'm going to say background image for this. We're going to give it a gradient because, you know, linear gradients look amazing on login pages. We're going to say to bottom right, hashtag CC2B5E. I just need to make you guys aware that this is a Chrome thing using the 2 bottom right, and you should probably use some prefixes if you want that to work on everything. We're going to say min high 100 VH, and bam, now we've got this nice gradient that's always there. All right, let's hit save because it really annoys me when I don't save things. Bang, there we go. Let's continue on. So we're going to have the container now. The container is actually going to be the box or just what helps us center the box. So we're going to say width 100%. Max width, we're going to say for 14 pixels like the iPhone Plus. The new iPhone Plus is, you know, the iPhone 8 Plus, something like that. 15 pixels auto for that. And then we're going to give it a background color, which is going to be equal to 232734. See, sometimes you just have to slow down because sometimes you're going just a little teensy when it's a bit too fast. 25 pixels, 15 pixels, bam, we're good. Oh yes, that looks nice. So in the container, we're going to have the H1, and in the H1, we're going to make it white because white seems to go well on darker colors. Who knew? Let's say font size, one of those 18 pixels font size. So let's give it a font weight 500. Does that look good? Tell me, what's that look like? Yeah, I like that. I don't want it bold. Bold isn't fun. 15 pixels and opacity. Let's give it a opacity of 0.7. I was going to do it in RGB, but I'm just going to do it like that. Perfect. Now, after that, so scroll. Oh, wrong freaking screen. Scroll, we're going to say form, and in the form, we're going to say, is it in the container? It's in the container, isn't it? We're going to say 0 pixels minus 15 pixels, because we'll do some fancy things here. That's all we need in there. We're going to have the form group. Oh, not a comma group. Form group. Oh, damn. And we're going to say width, 100%, padding, 0 pixels, 15 pixels, because we're catering for this minus 15 pixels we added before. So the actual inputs are now coming out, but this form group is sitting on these edges, which is very nice. We're going to say background image, because we're going to do another gradient. We're going to say linear gradient, and this one's just going to be to right, because we only want it going right. We're going to say 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, C, and then we're going to have a 2, 3, 2, 7, 3, 4. What else do we have? Well, border bottom. And we're going to say 1 pixel solid. Hashtag 414141. So now you can see we get this nice little gradient effect. Oh, what we need to do and last of type, because we don't want 2 border bottoms. That'd be weird. Last of type using this pseudo selector. And we're going to say border bottom none. Not new, none. Margin bottom. A lot of bottoms. Don't say that out loud. Bam. Okay, cool. We've got some spacing going on in here. Now we want to do some work on the input field. So behind this, we're going to say input hyphen field. And we're going to say display block. We'll give it a width of 100% because they don't like width. Border, none. Outline, none. Outline, none. Border, none. Background, none. Padding, we want 15 pixels, 0 pixels. We want to sit like that. Nice, there we go. Now it's looking good. We're going to give it the color of FFF, but we're going to give it a font size of probably 18 pixels. We want it to be quite big, but then we're going to mess around with the placeholder. So we're going to say placeholder, and we're going to say, so right now, well, the placeholder is still grey, so I mean, no god, but we're going to give it 5.3, 5.6, 5.8. I like that color. Doesn't look like change, but it did, trust me, just by a few color shades. Okay, so now to talk about some functionality of this, we're gonna, so as you saw when we used the demo, it had green text when we typed it out, and it also had red text when it was invalid and green text when it was valid for both of these. So in here, we're gonna have 2 classes. One's gonna be called valid, and when it's valid, we're gonna have 44E444, which is a nice little green, and then for invalid, we're going to go bright red, so we're just going to say color. We can just say red, but I'm going to use the hex, which is FF0000, and that is going to be the 2 colors we have on there. So these are for what we're going to be applying these and removing these classes when we validate the actual the stuff, the things, you know, the thingamabobbies. That's a technical term right there. Okay, so down here we're going to say login button. And on the login button, we're going to have a margin of 0 pixels, 15 pixels. We want to move it over to in line with all this stuff, because you know that's neat and I like neatness. Let's give it a display of inline hyphen block. And then we're going to give it a padding of 10 pixels, 40 pixels. We want it to be quite wide. Boop, there we go, nice. And then let's give it its color. So we're going to give it a color of CC2B5E, a font size of probably 20 pixels, a background equal to none, because we don't want that background there. Not no way. None, good. Border, we're going to have it at 2 pixels solid, hashtag CC2B5E. Don't tweet that because nobody will have a clue what you want about, except me. Border radius 999 pixel or 99 pixels. Sure, that'll do the same thing. I guess I was going to do 999, but it's fine. Good old transition of 0.4. So when we hover over the button, we can have some sort of effect and a cursor of pointer. I know none of this is relevant to the actual typing, but you guys can learn something from what I'm doing potentially. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going too fast, and you guys being like, "Slow down, you mother beep." But yeah, it's fine. We'll get to the good stuff. And there we go. So now we've got this nice little hover effect and this nice looking what do you call it? One of those login forms, you know, everybody keeps talking about. Okay, so we're going to head over. Oh, no, I didn't mean to save. I meant to save here. Come on, CodePen. What's your deal? We're going to open up the JS. And now, okay, so now here's where we get serious. We're going to get a reference to our form elements. So we're going to say document.query selector. And we're going to say hashtag login form. Right, so we've got that. We now want to get the username from that. So we're going to say username is equal to form.elements.named_item. And the name on the item is username. We're then going to get the password, and the password is, can you guess? Yeah, you got it. I know you did. I don't even have to guess. So now to set up the event listener, actually, first things first, we're going to say form. Oh, we forgot to add an equals here. We're going to say form.add event listener, and we're going to say submit. We're then going to set a function here, which is called E. And you could do validation on submitting as well as when you type in. So your server-side submit would obviously return. And you can also do typing on the server side as well. It just means you've got to make constant calls every so often. But what we're doing here is we're just going to prevent the default. So when we submit, we don't refresh our page or mess anything up. I just want it so we can test it. And then I'm just going to say alert submitted. And I'm just going to return true. That's fine. Save. And now when we click submit, it just says submitted. So it did refresh the page. Why did it do that? It shouldn't have done that. Refresh. Hello? Markup, where you gone? I broke it. Guys, I broke it. Hello? Technical difficulties. Alright, everybody. I'm hoping everything's alright. So technical difficulty was that for some reason Chrome does not like, I'm going to zoom in here too, like maybe like that. Yep. So Chrome does not like me right now. For some reason it just died and every single pen I clicked in went pure white. So who knows what happened there. My Chrome just died. So I'm just going to quickly rewrite what we last wrote, which was a submit function, which is basically just going to stop us. So every time we click submit, it's not going to actually, you know, submit. Is it e.prevent default or e.stop propagation? I think it's e.prevent propagation. That's not it, it's propagation. Maybe it needs to go at the top. Who knows? I don't know. There we go. Save. Now when I click submit, you're not actually going to submit, are you? You're just going to... So that's what propagation is doing. Now if I stop and I click login. Login. Oh, we got an error. What did I do? Listen, submit. Boop. E.prevent is not a function. Yeah, I've removed it now though. It's gone, isn't it? It's gone. Whack. CodePen is not liking me today. That's why I knew I should have done it in my local, but log in. There you go. Submitted. There we go. So it's slightly different from before, the pop-up button, but that's fine. So now let's get on to the actual validate while typing scenario. So we've set up these two, and the reason being we need to actually check or make a request to these or an event listener to these when we say username.add event listener, and we're going to use the event listener. Listener. We're going to use the event listener called input, and then we're going to call it a function called validate. So what input does is every single time you input something on here, it's going to call this. And right now it's going to tell me validate is not defined. So we're just going to say function validate. And then in here, we're just going to, we're going to pass through E. And the first thing we're going to do is just check what target is. So we're going to say console.log e.target.name. And this is how we're going to distinguish them. So now if I save, there we go. So if I go in here, so we've got a console on here we can open up. Ignore these errors, they're just from CodePen naturally. And every time I type, you'll see it's red, we changed in the username. Even when I delete, it also updates. Now same with the password. Let me scroll down because you're not going to see that. Oh, it's not going to be the same with the password because we haven't set password up. So let's copy the password and create a password event listener. No, I don't want to save the whole page. And now when we type in here, you'll see password. If we type in here, you can see username. So that is step one. We now know what that is. So we're just going to say let target equal e dot e dot target dot name, and that is the target we're looking for. Now what we're going to say is if target is equal to password, then we're going to validate it via a password. If not, if target is target is equal to username, we're then going to do something for the username. So we're going to say username validation and password validation. Perfect. So let us in the password first. So in the previous tutorial where we had a submit, we actually used a regex code, and we're going to use the same here. So this is the regex code. What this stands for, it says it needs a minimum of 8 characters. It needs to have at least a lowercase and an uppercase character, one of each minimum. It also needs at least one number in order for it to actually work, to run, so the test to run. So in here, we're now going to say if sorry, my throat was a bit clogged there. We're going to say if passreg, so what we just created at the top, dot test, and then we're going to say target dot, nope, sorry. Let's rename this to e.target, and then this one could be dot name, and same down here, dot name. And then we're going to say target dot value in there. So if that value matches the regex, we're going to say target dot class list dot add, and we're going to add valid. Valid. But we also need to make sure at the same time we remove invalid. So if when we first start typing, it's always going to be invalid because you need at least a certain amount of characters. So we're also going to make an else statement where we do the exact. We need to actually say remove, not add. We're going to get this second target. We're going to bring it over here, and this time we're just going to swap them around. So we're just going to say valid goes in there and invalid goes up here. So if it doesn't match, if this returns false, then we're going to make it invalid. So let's actually test that. So let's save. And now in password, when we start typing, you see it's red, and it's always going to be red until we match it up. So we need a capital letter. So I'm just going to put T for test, EST. We're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, now that password is now valid and it's gone green, meaning it's right. So normally you could probably add a tick on the right or tick on the tick on the right or a tick on the left to say that's valid. Now continue on. I'm just doing this because I don't want to mess with SVGs today. So let's do username. So now username is slightly different because we're not actually we don't have a regex to test. So in this time we're just going to say target.value. Oh, that's oh, not now. Why are you always getting on to me? This is why I don't use my default browser, Safari. This is why Chrome is better for you. Leave me alone. Alright, so we've got the value, but now we need to get the length. And we want to say if the length is more than 3, so it's if it's equal to 4 or more, we could say if it's more or equal to 4, which we'll leave in there. So now we'll say target, or not e.target, we'll say target.classList, or we'll just copy these. Well, actually, we can actually copy this whole if or else statement quickly, paste that in, and then that works out right. So if we now save this, as you can see, when I go in here, I can say TYLE, and then that works, and then R. So we can say Tyler, and then the password can be test 1, 2, 3, 4, and there you go. That is everything you need to validate. And yes, that is my password for all my social media accounts, everything. So go ahead, log into everything, Tyler and test 1, 2, 3, 4. Please don't do that because that was a lie, and you'll be very disappointed when you don't actually get to log into my account. Don't take everything I say for it. See what I mean? All I did was click close. I just clicked close, and now you're like, oh, do you want to save this password? Oh, is this password we want to steal from you? Go away. God damn it, this is why I use freaking Chrome. Chrome less, well, I mean, Google probably steals it without even asking. There's benefits to both. Alright guys, so I hope you learned something in this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? You should have subscribed when we got halfway through the video, when I started going crazy about stuff. So subscribe. Alright, thanks for that. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you tomorrow in the next day 5 of 135. Jesus, I'm not doing that. 31 days and 31 videos. Peace out.
always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I